Hi, this is Abul Hussain coming to you direct from London, the United Kingdom, and welcome to another episode of the SMMA Mastermind podcast, where we talk about how you can start or scale your digital marketing agency. And we also bring on subject matter experts to help upskill us so that we can deliver better results for our clients and also to grow our own businesses. Now, if you are watching this episode outside of our Facebook group, make sure you find the link above or below this video, or go to smmamastermind.com, especially if you want to network with 2,500 other like-minded individuals. Now, with that out of the way, I have a very special guest joining me all the way from Los Angeles. He is a digital disruptor. He is a trailblazer. He's an agency owner, and he has also launched a brand new platform, a global Pan-African freelance collaboration platform called AfriBlocks, and we're going to hear all about that as well as his digital marketing journey. Roger Roman, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Abul. Happy to be here. Happy to talk about my journey in marketing and as an entrepreneur.
Thank you so much for joining me. Now, for the people who might not know who you are, how about a little bit of an introduction?
Sure. Roger Roman. I am the co-founder of AfriBlocks. We are a Pan-African freelance marketplace and collaboration platform. We're building the future of work for Africa. It's been a fun journey over the last 9 months. We're getting ready to wrap up our Techstars. We were in Techstars Accelerator, and we're getting ready to wrap up. So heading out to fundraise and doing all that good stuff. But my roots are in digital marketing. Before founding AfriBlocks, I ran a digital marketing agency here in Los Angeles, and I did that for about 6 years. So there's a lot of parallels in the space, and what drew me to the space was actually just working with those outsourced teams from the agency side.
That's absolutely awesome and quite inspirational as well, what you're trying to achieve there. So, talk to us about AfriBlocks. How did the idea come about? Who is it for? Where are you at with it, I suppose?
Yeah, sure. So AfriBlocks, so one of my clients back in 2005 was actually was a Bitcoin remittance startup. They were working to build a remittance platform that allowed you to send money from the United States to African countries using Bitcoin. And I was brought in as an interim CMO to kind of help them break into the U.S. market and find users on this side. At the time, I met the lead developer there, this guy, 𝗕𝗣𝗥𝗏𝗏, super brilliant, super smart guy, who was actually like fresh out of college. And he was building this crazy platform pretty much by himself. He had a little bit of help, but we met, we became friends. I eventually moved on from that project and, focused on building up the agency with other clients. And he gives me a call early last year, right before, the pandemic kind of took its grip on the world. He said, "Hey, I've been working on this side thing. I started this project, just kind of helping my friends get jobs in the States," because he was working in San Francisco at the time. He's like, "I started a WhatsApp group. It was about 20 people in it. And after about 3 months, there were like 600 people in it."
Nice.
And he's like, "I know there's a business here somewhere. Like, we got to figure this out." So we kind of worked on it a little bit. It was, a little side project for both of us, put up a landing page to see if we can, draw some interest in it. And things just started to grow. And I think, a lot of it coincided with COVID and kind of people shifting towards remote work. A lot of people were let go looking for work. A lot of people were looking for help with their businesses, especially in the digital space. You had a lot of people who needed to upgrade their websites and things like that because business was kind of moving online in a more permanent setting. So yeah, I want to say we did that as a part-time thing, and around May, we were really excited about the numbers and the feedback we were getting. We both left our day jobs. For him, he was still a developer at that startup I just spoke about, and I was actually running an agency. For me, it was a little bit of an easier decision because, we lost a bunch of contracts, with the onset of the COVID pandemic. So, I had a little bit of free time, and we jumped in as full-time founders, and it's kind of been a roller coaster ever since. That was last summer. Things started to move really fast. We got about 2,500 freelancers on the platform. We got about 300 buyers across the globe. So it's been cool, man. It's been fun. We got selected to Techstars a few months ago, and that's been great. Learned a lot, met a lot of people through that. So yeah, it's exciting.
And in terms of the way the platform is positioned, obviously it's global, Pan-African. So I'm guessing you're looking at African Americans and Africans in Africa as well, or anywhere
Yeah.
in the world, is it?
Well, so as a marketer, I'm sure you've worked with offshore teams and you've worked,
Hmm.
with teams and things like that. And what we found was that a lot of freelancers on the continent of Africa, they can't necessarily compete in the global marketplace because it's a global marketplace for various reasons. One of the biggest being a payments issue.
Yeah.
Once you get past the cultural biases, once you get past all of the other things and all the competition, like there's a lot of talented people bidding, competing for jobs on these other platforms.
Absolutely.
Um, it's very hard and expensive to get paid. Upwork or Fiverr or any of these other platforms, they'll take payment from the buyer side and they'll pay you, not understanding that, you might have to go through three different institutions before you can actually get, the cash in your hands.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, your fee, you've been cannibalized by fees, So that's an issue that has traditionally held African freelancers back in the global space. And those are the things that we're solving. So we figured we'd build a place where, the people who are looking for African freelancers, they can find them. And, there's a company or a platform that actually understands their pains in terms of payments and things like that. And I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel. Like we've
Sure.
seen this model happen in other regions in the world, where 10, 15 years ago, Southeast Asia had the same issues, right? And now, they're the leaders in the global freelance marketplace. You can say the same for Eastern Europe and even Latin America, which is making, inroads in the space as well. Our hypothesis is that at some point, actually it's not even our hypothesis at this point. There's been a bunch of studies, but in 10 years, there's going to be a global tech talent shortage. With the new technologies being created, going to need people to work, to work those jobs. It's not going to necessarily be robots taking the job. You're going to need people to build the robots, control, things like that. So, there's Africa's untapped. I mean, it's huge. There's 1.3 billion people. It's going to be up to like 2.5 billion in a few years, in 20 years or 30 years. 60% of the population is under the age of 25. So you have a young population that's, open to learning new things and picking up new skills. I think the average age is 19.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a huge untapped opportunity, not to mention, smart people, like, very smart people, very talented, brilliant people, tons of money being put into the tech infrastructure in various countries. Someone just has to build the rails to allow everyone to work with African talent and allow African talent to work with the globe.
No, that's absolutely brilliant. And obviously you see kind of people from, I suppose, the African continent, when they're in Facebook groups, freelancing groups and whatnot, they are hustling hard. So, I can definitely see the tide turning slightly. And as you mentioned, this was quite a big issue for people in South Asia, for example, where they couldn't take payment and now they've got the infrastructure there. So, I mean, how are you guys solving this payments issue then for African freelancers?
So it's, our product roadmap today, we're very young, we're very early in the process. We understand, most of our freelancers come from the SADC region, the Southern African region, Zimbabwe, South Africa. It's dead center space. So we understand that region well. My co-founder is actually from Zimbabwe. He's actually there now, actually. He's in Harare. He's been there for a few months, but we understand that. So we know, the preferred payment methods, the preferred vendors. And our goal is to work with as many vendors as possible to, be able to facilitate those payments. I can't tell you exactly how we're building that. And
Sure.
Of
course. That's the secret.
But our goal is to, if you're wherever you are in Africa, there should be a way for you to collect your money when you get paid on AfriBlocks.
No, that's absolutely awesome. So in terms of your platform, obviously, like you've mentioned, you've got Fiverr and you've got Upwork, but you have companies posting jobs and someone bidding for jobs. I mean, do you offer anything more than that? Are you training people up? What other kind of shiny features are in your product roadmap? Stuff that you can disclose, I suppose.
Yeah, so for our freelancers, like I said, we've built a community around our freelancers. We've really brought them in, and we've kind of created this community aspect where everyone can share resources and share ideas. We've also provided upskilling opportunities and resources. We've partnered with Data Camp, we've partnered with Coursera, so people can grow in their skill set. And that's been great. That's really what's driven a lot of our growth. That's been mostly organic to this point, as a new startup. I mean, we've only been around for less than a year. It's been 9 months, I believe, since we officially started. So that's held us on, just having that community. And we're going to build with that in mind. Like, this is a community. We want to make sure that our freelancers are taken care of, that they have the best opportunity. And then on the buyer side, same thing. There's an affinity for people who want to work with people who they have a cultural connection to, whether that's a first generation immigrant living in London, or it's a Black American who lives in Chicago. Like, it's
Right.
There are people who have a connection, and they want to work with those people. So that's kind of how we've been building in terms of the community and growing it from that aspect. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely, no, absolutely. Now, one of the things that pops to mind is, okay, I'm a business owner, and ultimately I have a task that needs to get done, probably at
Mhm.
the best value for money. And I know, for example, if I'm looking to outsource something, you've got the Philippines that might have an established freelance advanced community who I don't need to train. I can give them the job, they get on with it. I look at India and I get a similar kind of offering. You know, how do you position Africa, or people from Africa, shall I say, as being able to come in and compete effectively against these other sellers? I totally understand my cultural affinity and whatnot, but I want something, if I want efficiency or if I want cost effectiveness,
Mhm.
surely I would go towards maybe freelance or Upwork, to those established
Yeah,
communities.
sure. So what we've realized is that there is a huge group of entrepreneurs and business owners who aren't experienced with hiring freelancers.
Right.
You and I are pretty technical dudes. We can go on and figure out what type of developer we need when we need a mobile app built, or we need some
Hmm.
graphic design.
Sure.
But there are a ton of small business owners and new business owners and new entrepreneurs, people who have side gigs and side hustles, and maybe they have an e-commerce store on the side, and they have a full-time job. That's a group of people who have been kind of held out of the freelance marketplace on the other side, right?
Right.
And what we do for those people is we actually come in and we give them a little bit of guidance. If when you post a job, we ask you a few questions to make sure you're looking for the right talent. What are your goals with your website, so on and so forth. So that's the offer to our buyer. You're not just
Mm,
throwing a million profiles and you have to go and vet each one and look at their profile. You can do that. We have the capability to let you do that.
right.
But you don't have to. If you want some help in selecting someone, we'll help you, and we'll match you with the freelancer that fits your budget, that fits the job description, so on and so forth.
And this all
And
sounds,
that's,
really
go ahead.
pioneering. Is there someone else doing what you're already doing?
Well, so with us, we're new, we're agile, and we're able to kind of move fast and break things and test things out. So that's a standard offer for us. We've seen some of the incumbents move to making a premium white glove service, where they have like these managers or these people who kind of help you with your project. So it's not revolutionary in the sense of we're the first people to do it. But I think as a baseline offering, I think we are very early in that space.
Right. Okay. So as a business, what's your priority right now? Is it to go out and recruit the freelancers or to find the buyers?
Yeah, I mean it's both. It's a little bit of both. I mean, we haven't had, again, we're 9 months old, so a lot of this is very new. But we haven't had any issues growing our freelancer base. There people want opportunities, and we have a backlog of freelancers waiting to join the platform
Right.
as we speak. Just going through the vetting process. Then on the buyer side, yeah, we've pretty much got most of our business from referrals and word of mouth and just kind of network effects, while we tested things out and tested our product market fit. But at this point, we're ready to go live with our platform. So we'll be a little more aggressive in our marketing, and we're reaching out to people and making sure people know about us. Because again, we're only 9 months old, so a lot of people don't even know about, they don't know we exist. And that's one of the delightful things when we do bring on new customers and they say, hey, I found you guys. I'm so glad, this exists. I didn't know it was there. So if
Okay.
our goal point is to go out and then just grow the platform.
Right. So you're already functioning, I suppose. People are posting jobs, they're finding freelancers, work is being
Oh, yeah,
done,
we're live.
and reviews are
Yeah,
being exchanged. Right.
Yeah, we're live. You can go right now, AfriBlocks.com. You can go post a job, mess around on the website. We got some great blogs and some great information there as well. If you just want to learn about the business. So yeah,
Right.
we're
Okay.
up and running for sure.
Right. And you mentioned obviously you've just come out of a business incubator or accelerator. So you're obviously fundraising. You're probably going to go and do some Series A fundraising or something like that. What are your plans? For the next 12 months.
Next 12 months, we're going to go out and fundraise. We start our fundraise officially April 20th. We're looking for early stage investors who are interested in Africa, interested in marketplaces. We'll probably do that, close that round, sometime around June. And yeah, we're just focused on building and growing. Like we have plans to grow over the next year, and we have a lot of milestones we want to hit. That's the goal. That's the plan.
Okay. I mean, do you have any sort of plans to do any crowdfunding to open, I suppose, investment opportunities up to people who might want to support a platform that is obviously
Yeah.
looking to help Africa?
Yeah. So that's a great question. I'm a big proponent of the new 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓 crowdfunding laws that passed here in the United States.
Right.
I'm a venture partner at Republic, which is one of the leading platforms for equity crowdfunding. I don't think that's the space for AfriBlocks at the moment. We've been getting a lot of interest from institutional investors, but I definitely think for a lot of businesses, even some of our customers actually, 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, like that, crowdfunding, equity crowdfunding is great. I've used it as an investor, and I've worked with some companies who've actually raised money on the equity crowdfunding. I think it makes investing equitable, right? I'm able to angel invest because of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a big proponent of crowdfunding. I don't think that's the right.
Right.
I don't think we're at the right stage for it just yet. When you do an equity crowdfunding campaign, there's a lot of marketing involved, and you want to really get your community involved. So you got to be ready for it. I don't think that's the fit for us right now, but I'll never write it out in the future because I love it. I love I love equity crowdfunding as a
Get the
fundraising
grassroots
source.
community involved as well, I suppose. But
I do.
no, you're right. You need to do what's right for the stage you're at right now, and obviously there's going to be other future rounds of funding. Hopefully, fingers crossed for you guys. So someone who
Yeah.
might be watching this, and obviously they might be a business owner who has not heard of your platform, but they have used Fiverr and Upwork and all of these other sites. What kind of jobs can they get done through your platform right now?
So we have a great crop of website developers. We have software developers, mobile app developers. We have a bunch of UI, graphic designers. We have digital marketers, which has been really cool to kind of see the evolution there. People who actually come in and help small businesses with their social media presence, whether it's creating content or even just managing social media calendars and engagement. And then we have virtual assistants as well, to kind of help out some of these founders who don't have a lot of time, and some of these entrepreneurs who are struggling with so many projects. So those are the core services. In addition to that, we do video editing and audio editing as well. But those are more niche services that they're not as popular on the platform as those 5.
Right. Okay. No, that makes total sense. Now, if someone wants to find out more about you or find out more about AfriBlocks as a platform, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, so for me, I'm on Twitter, Roger L. Roman II with 2 I's after Roman. And then AfriBlocks, www.afriblocks.com, or you know, AfriBlocks, at AfriBlocks on Twitter. Same thing with Instagram and Facebook as well. But yeah, just find me. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. Roger Roman. Roger L. Roman. You know, however,
Okay, no.
whatever username I could get. At
Roger
the top.
Roman. I mean, you've got a unique name. I think so. I think it's going to be quite quite straightforward to find you. Now, obviously, you know, it'll be great to catch up with you in a year or so to see where you're at. But for now, Roger Roman, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Abul. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.